tell you something, brother. God is always on his throne. God's on his throne at sunshine, and God's on his throne in the clouds. God's on his throne at noontime, and God's on his throne at midnight. God's on his throne in the calm, and God's on his throne in the storm. God's on his throne when you're employed, and God's on his throne when you're not employed. God is always on his throne. And when God doesn't measure up to your standard of living, you even have the audacity to get bitter. I can't comprehend that. What? Bitter at him who gives you the air you breathe? What? Bitter at him who gives you the food you eat? What? Bitter at him who gives you the loveliness of the Rocky Mountains like pyramids covered with whipped cream? What? Be bitter at him who raised the redwoods of California like the mighty Samson of the forest? What? Be bitter at him who painted the desert with his masterpiece? What? Be bitter at him who raised the pines of Carolina like steeples above earthly sanctuaries? What? Be bitter at him who dropped his own teardrops 10,000 times on Minnesota and formed 10,000 lakes? What? Be bitter at him who gave his only begotten Son? What? Be bitter at him who said goodbye to heaven's darling and let him come to earth for 33 homesick years? What? Be bitter at him who had no place to lay his head, though foxes had holes and birds had nests. The Son of Man had no place to lay his head. What? Be bitter at him who was expelled from his own synagogue, hated by his own people, and kicked out of his own city, crucified by his own world. What? Be bitter at him who went to Pilate's hall and suffered the agony of the cat of nine tails. What? Be bitter at him who went up Golgotha carrying the cross on his beaten back. What? Be bitter at him who took that cross that was nailed to it with nails in his hands and his feet. What? Be bitter at him whose precious body lay 3 days and 3 nights. What? Be bitter at him who was the King of Kings but had no throne but a cross, had no crown but a crown of thorns, had no scepter but a borrowed walking stick, had no royal robe but a soldier's overcoat, had no subjects but a jeering mob saying, crucify him, crucify him. How dare you get bitter at him?